Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of A Place for All My Books. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I am set up to play a solo game of A Place for All My Books. I will be playing against the AI opponent, Penelope Eveready. I've picked the blue character from just because that's the one on the cover of the box, but really they're all the same. And I've got most of the setup done, so this will not really be a how to play video. I'll talk about, as usual, I'll sort of talk about a little bit of how to play as I play it. And I'll give you my thoughts at the end. But I have played it twice now, and this will be the deciding match because I won pretty handily the first time, and then I lost by quite a bit the second time. But as I said, I'll save my thoughts for the end. So I need to finish setting up here. These are my starting books as indicated here on the player board, and I also want to say, I guess, two things about the format here. One, all these books are single-sided, so they've got the gold foil on one side, and so I will try and keep that side up just for anybody who may not be able to see the various colors, but I don't really have a good way to refer to all these. They're not like, I don't know what shape this is, like in that gold foil. So I'm going to refer to the books by their colors in this video, and I apologize if that's difficult for you to see. I usually try and be pretty conscious about that, but I don't have a good method in this example in this game. And then secondly, just due to the nature of the top-down format of these videos, and I'm going to be stacking books on top of each other, I will do my best to sort of allow you to see what books are in a stack, but it might be kind of difficult just from this top-down view to be able to see exactly what's in a stack, but I'll do my best. So as I said, these are my starting books as indicated here, and then there are some spaces here on the player board with 3 dots, 3 dots, 2 dots, and 4 dots, and I need to randomly select from these and build stacks in those 4 places. So I'll start here in the bedroom. I'm just going to grab all these in my hand. I'll drop them one at a time, and that'll be the order of the stack from bottom to top. Here we go. 1, that's blue, yellow, red. All right, so those are going to start there. My next, it is going to be hard to see. I'll try and stagger or something. The next stack will be here in the kitchen. I need 3 more. We have blue, green, and blue. So blue, green, blue, and then 2 here in the bath. 1, 2, that was yellow, red. A little faster than I meant to drop it. And then 4, the final 4 here in the den, we've got yellow, blue, green, red. All right. Yellow. Let's see if I can like slightly spiral these around or something. Green and red. All right, that's how it is going to start. So I'm the first player. I start with 3 social battery. Oh, and I need to pick my difficulty level. So these rival cards are, they've got letters in the top right corner here. Every time I put it away, I put them back in alphabetical order. It doesn't take that long. It goes from A to N. You need 10 sequential cards. So you can go A through J, and that would be the easiest setting. Or you could go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. You can go E through N, and that would be the most difficult setting. It's just the cards at the end are more difficult than the cards at the beginning, but more, I don't know. I guess I don't feel like that's going to affect the difficulty that much. I feel like the difficulty is more affected by, what do I want to say, just the order you draw these cards in, because, if you go from level 1 to level 2, you're only taking out the A card and replacing it with the K card. Like, you're not changing that many. It's only a tenth of the deck. But the more cards you have out at any time, the actions get more powerful, and that's what's really going to dictate how the AI opponent scores. So I'm going to start on the middle level. I'm going to take out A and B. I'm going to take out M and N. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. I'll put these back in the box, put them away, won't need them again. And then these need to be shuffled. I've got my player card here under my player board. Up here are the major accomplishments. Those never change, but if I ever accomplish one, I can move my token onto it and claim the reward. In a multiplayer game, if you're first, you get this reward, and then everyone else gets the other award if they ever complete it. The AI opponent does not complete those, so they're just available to me if I can get them. The bookstore is set up here with our large stack, medium stack, and small stack. It starts with 1, 2, and 3 books, and then there's a little project associated with each. With our deck of little projects here, our deck of other neat stuff here. The other neat stuff goes in the shops. So we've got a board game here and a desk lamp here. What else? I need to deal myself 5 little projects and then keep 3, discard 2 to start the game. And I'll explain other stuff as we go, I suppose. All right, so there's Penelope's deck. Let me deal myself, no, not those, 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll keep 3 of them. So let's look at all 5. So these are things I might try and accomplish. So have 4 more blue books among your board's corners. Have lonesome books in each of your corner spaces. A lonesome book is just a stack of 1. What is this one? Have a book in every row and column. Have 4 or more green books among your board's corner spaces. And have 4 matching color books on your nightstand. I think I'm going to keep these 3 and discard these 2, so I will set them aside. And so there's no hand limit to these little projects, but there are actions that will tell you that when you take this action, like discard down to a certain amount, it's usually 5, like this rest action here. But in the meantime, I get to start in my apartment, and I am going to, what do I want to do first? I'm going to do this sort action. So I go here, I gain 1 social battery, I go up to 4, and so I'm going to pick up a stack of books. I'm going to pick up this one and distribute them to the top of any stacks or empty spaces, but I cannot put more than 2 in any single location. So I'm going to put a single blue one here in the corner because that can help me with have lonesome books in each of your corners, as well as have 4 blue books among your board's corner spaces. And now I've got a stack in each row and each column, so I can accomplish this one already. These other 3, I'm not really sure where I might want to put them. It's possible I'll get this little project to have no yellow books in my den or kitchen. And it's possible I'll have any of these 4 yellows in a single stack. Probably not 4 greens in a single stack. So let's, just in case, we'll put the yellow. You know what? Let's put the yellow, and maybe I just want these on my nightstand. What do I want to do with these? I'm going to put a yellow here. And I'll put the red and green here for no particular reason. Okay, so that was my turn. Now it's Penelope's turn. So we draw the top rival card, and now we have exactly 1 card in our rival tableau, I guess. I'm not sure what to call it, but we've got 1 card. So if we have 1 to 3 cards, we send Penelope to the bookstore. So this says medium shelf. And you can see her card here says Penelope gains all the books and the little project card from the bookshelf listed on the card here. So she goes to the medium shelf. So she gets both of these books. These are going to go in her pile. She gets this project. I've got piles off to the side. So she's just going to score these 2 points for this at the end of the game automatically. Now we restock. So a new little project. And then from the draw bag, we add 1 book to each of the bookstore shelves. So a blue one here, a red one here, and a blue one here. And so in this way, there is always a large stack, a medium stack, and a small stack. So I thought that was pretty clever. And so as you can see now, as she takes her turns, we're going to keep adding to this line, and the actions will get more powerful the more cards that are in the line. Now, if we ever need to draw a rival card and there are no more, we automatically lose. And as I complete these little projects, if it lists a color in the bottom, like this one says blue, then all of the rival cards with a blue book in the top left corner, I remove and shuffle back into her deck. And if there is no color listed in the text at the bottom, then there are cards that are just gray that are like colorless, and you remove all the colorless ones in that case. So we'll see that in action in a little bit, but it's my turn to take an action, and I think now I have to move my character somewhere. I cannot stay in the same place. So I'm going to go to rest. I gain 2 social battery, so I'm up to 6, and I gain 2 of these little projects, and then I must discard down to 5 in hand. So this will get me up to 5 in hand, so I won't have to get rid of anything. Let's take a look at what these are, though. We have 3 stacks topped with yellow books in a single room. Okay, and let me slide these down maybe just a little bit. Not sure if we'll have room for all these cards. And this one is have a maximum height stack of 6 books. So books cannot be stacked more than 6 high. So now I've got more things I can accomplish. And to accomplish these, you not only meet the criteria, but you have to take the admire action. And when you do that, you accomplish all of the little projects that you have in hand in which you meet the requirements at that time. So you do want to be efficient about it. But it is now the AI's turns. We draw the next rival card, and we're just going to leave these removal icons available, but we're on card 2 now. Here's one of these colorless cards. And so we have 1 to 3 cards out. So Penelope is now going to go to the shops. And when she goes to the shops, then she takes the action listed on the card, which says discard both other neat stuff cards. So these both get discarded. I'll put them off in a discard pile to the side. They do get replaced. So now there's a decorative mug and a Zen garden. And it's my turn again. I'm going to sort again. So I gain 1 social battery. I'm going to pick up this stack and I'm going to distribute like this. Here's a blue. We'll put a green one here and we'll put a blue one here. So now we're getting blue boards among my corner spaces. I've got 3 corners with blue and they're lonesome as well. So if I can get my last blue, which is at the bottom of this stack, into this corner by itself, I'll accomplish both of these, and then I think I might be able to get this one too, and this one. I think I'll be able to get 4 of these in one admire action if I'm efficient here. So now it's Penelope's turn, and that's the thing. We don't want to take too long because we do want to start knocking some of these cards out before her actions get more powerful. But she gets another colorless card. This is her 3rd card. This says she goes to the cafe, which is a special location that's just here on her card that has no base effect. And it says she gains 3 books from the bag. So at the end of the game, every book is worth a point. She gets a blue, another blue, and a yellow. So I'll put these in her pile, which I know is off screen, but she's up to 5 books. And you know what? I'll put her little project here so you can see she's got one of those worth 2 points. I'll try and put a reminder on screen, like I'll put 1 book on screen every time she gets up to 10 books, just so we can kind of keep track. But she's up to 5, which is more info than what I usually play. Usually I just have a giant pile of books and I just kind of eyeball it. What am I going to do next? I really just want to keep taking that sort action, but that's pretty tough. So I'm going to take the gather action. So get 1 social battery and then take the top book off of any number of stacks and place them in a single stack. So there is a restriction here because a single stack cannot be more than 6 books tall. So grab basically the top book from up to 6 stacks and then place those down together. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, and 4, these 4, and man, I wish I had another one. And I also wish I remember what that looked like a second ago. I think it was like this. That seems right to me. So in that case, I'm going to take those 3 reds, that yellow, and that green. So let's take the green, the red, the red, the red, the yellow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to place them now in any one place. I'm going to place them on top of that green. So now I have a stack of 6 to accomplish this little project. And I've got 3 stacks that have yellow on top. And 2 of them are in the same room. 2 are in the bedroom. This one's in the bath. So I need to move this to the bedroom. And I need to get this blue book down here into the corner. And then I can accomplish all of these. But that's going to take a couple turns. So Penelope's going to get pretty strong in the meantime. She draws her next card. This is the 4th card. So now we take this action here. She sends her token to the cafe. And then she gains the little project card from the largest bookstore shelf and then restocks it. So that's this one here. Wasn't real interested in that one. That's okay. And we restock it. And now it's my turn again. And I'm going to sort again, one social battery. I'm going to grab this stack and I'm going to place a blue one in the corner by itself. And let's put a yellow one, doesn't really matter, right back there. That was my turn. Back to Penelope. So this is card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 4 to 5 action is sending Penelope to the shops. And this says she discards both other neat stuff cards and then gains 3 books from the bag. So let's restock the shelves. She did not gain the cards, she just discarded them in this case. But she can gain those as well. And she gains 3 books from the bag. Got yellow, blue, blue. So she's up to 8 books in her inventory. And I'm going to gather, once again, one more social battery. Take the top book from any number of stacks and then place them in a single stack. So we'll do that. And now I'm ready to admire because, oh no, I don't have anything in that column. So I would get 4 out of 5 of these, which is still great. But I thought I was going to get them all at once. Whoops. But back to Penelope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is card number 6. And so 6 to 7. First, there's a sun symbol there, so we're going to advance the sun tracker. We started on the 2-player space. When it gets to the end, that's the end of the game. And now she gains other neat stuff from the first display case. So that's going to be this one. So she gains this. That's worth points at the end. We're going to replace it. And that did, by the way, send her back to the shop where she already was. Now, I am going to go to the village myself. So when you go to the village, first to leave the house, you have to spend 5 social batteries. So I'm at 10. I go down to 5. And now I also must go to a location here and spend whatever the social battery cost is for that. And so I'm going to go to the bookstore. And I'm going to purchase the medium shelf, which costs 3 social battery. 1, 2, 3. And so I get these 2 books. They go in my backpack. I can arrange them however I want. But when I get back home, I'm going to take each of those stacks and place them, without adjusting them at all somewhere here. So maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really have a preference. And I also gain this card here. And I've accomplished this already. I've got no yellow books in my den or in my kitchen. So that's good to have. And now we replace... Nope, not that. We replace the little project and add 1 book to each bookstore shelf. Oh, and because I went to the village, every time I go to the village, this sun advances as well. So we get a yellow book, and a yellow book. That's kind of funny. And I kind of really wanted this leather journal, but I don't have enough social battery for it now. And I didn't want to bump Penelope. So if you ever go somewhere in the village where somebody else has their token, it bumps them to the park. Normally for human players, you get 2 social battery every time somebody does that. But for the rival here, every time she goes to the park, we add a card to this line without resolving an action. So it's going to make her more powerful. So anyway, it is Penelope's turn again. Let's grab this. So that is card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 to 7 says she goes to the library. And she gains 3 additional books. And when she goes to the library, she usually draws 1 book from the bag and adds 1 book to each shelf in the bookstore. So she's going to get 4 books for this. So Penelope gains blue, yellow, red, blue. Those are hers. And we add 1 to each shelf at the bookstore. So let's get 3. We get yellow, yellow, and blue. Okay, yellow, yellow, blue. And I've got more that I would like to do, but I don't have much social battery. It would have been nice if she bumped me out of the bookstore, then I would have gotten 2 social battery, and then I would have had enough to get this leather journal. But I don't have time to mess with all that right now. I've got to do some admire actions. So I'm going to go home. When you go home, we first place these stacks. So I'm going to place a stack here. And where do I want to place this stack? Doesn't really matter. Here, I guess. And now... I'm going to take the admire action. And so a couple things happen here. First, each time I admire, I get 3 social battery of blue is the most common type of book in my apartment. I have 5 blues. I have 3 yellows, 1, and then 2, 3. There's 2 greens on the bottom of this stack. So 3 greens, and I have 3 reds. So blue is the most common. I get 3 social battery. 1, 2, 3. Now let's look at my cards here. Have 4 or more blue books among your board's corner spaces. I do. So this is accomplished. I get this is 2 points at the end of the game, and I gain 1 random other neat stuff card. So let's see what this is. Oh, nice, a graphic novel. So when you acquire this, add a purple to the top of any stack. So that's a special token. Add that off to the side. That's the wild one. So add this to the top of any stack, and then each time you admire, name a color and treat that purple token as that color until the end of the turn. So in this case, it really doesn't matter. I don't need it to be anything. I'll just put it here, and I'll call it another blue. All right, so we've accomplished this one. So this is going to be 2 points for me at the end of the game. I'll just put it sideways here. Next, this one have lonesome books in each of your corner spaces. Those are stacks of 1. I have achieved that. So I gain 3 social battery. 1, 2, 3. And this will be 2 points at the end of the game. This one have a book in every row. I have that. And a book in every column. I have that. Another 3. 1, 2, 3 social battery. And 2 points at the end of the game. Next, have 3 or more stacks topped with yellow books in a single room. Yellow, yellow, yellow in my bedroom. So 3 social battery, 1, 2, 3, and 2 points at the end of the game. And then let me back up for a second. There's something I have to do and forgot. I got to take care of these rival cards too. So this one has the word blue. So all the blue books come out of here. And we're going to shuffle them back into the rival deck. Then this one has no color, so all the colorless cards go back in the rival deck. See, this is very important. This one's also colorless, and this one is yellow. There's no yellow. Let's keep going. Have a maximum height stack of 6 books. I do. There's 6 books here. It's green, green, red, 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 yellow. So that's another 3 social battery. 1, 2, 3, and 2 points at the end of the game. And then this one, have no yellow books in your den or in your kitchen. And I've accomplished that. So that's another 3 social battery. 1, 2, 3. I'm at the max. I'm at 20. And that's another 2 points at the end of the game. So that was a pretty big turn. And how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have 6 or more completed little projects in your scoring pile. So I've done that as well. So I can't gain the social battery. I'm already maxed at 20, but that'll be worth 4 points for me at the end of the game. And in solo, each time you accomplish a major accomplishment, you name a color and then, or colorless as well, and clear out the rival deck. So I'm going to say red, and we've got red here. So that clears out this card. So that is very helpful. That was a big turn, huh? So now I've got a ton of social battery, so I can go back out to the village and try and do some more powerful moves out there. Spend all this social battery before I come back. I do need some more little projects, so I have something to accomplish. But that was a pretty big boost, and I think what I have found is that my games go on for a while because I avoid going to the village. And I just try and do as many little projects as I can. But the longer the game goes on, the more Penelope tends to get a bunch of books in her scoring pile. And so it might be in my interest to try and go to the village to advance that sun tracker more to bring the game closer to ending. So let me count her books here. She's got 12. So I'll let this represent her first 10, just so you've got some indication on screen. And that was my mega turn. So now it's Penelope's turn. She has no cards in the tableau yet, so this is her first. It's a blank for removal. She's going to the library where she already is. She can stay in one place, but we have to move. When she goes to the library, there's no other effect there other than she draws 1 book from the bag and then adds 1 book to each shelf in the bookstore. So this is her book. She gets a green. And for the bookstores, got blue, green, yellow. A lot of books out there. So now it's my turn. And so I am going to leave the house, 5 social battery, go from 20 down to 15. And where am I going to start? I think I'm going to go to the bookstore. I mean, I might as well. although the shops are good too. No, let's go to the bookstore before that gets cleared. I'm going to take the largest stack, 6 social batteries, so I go from 15 down to 9. I gain all 6 of these books, 6, 7, all 7 of these books to my backpack. Whoopsie. So how do I want to stack these? I think I want to put the yellow in my backpack here. And how do I want to do this? I'll put the 2 greens on top of the yellows. So that's a stack of 5, and then 2 blues here. And then I gain this little project, which says have 3 or more tall stacks that have no yellow books. And again, a tall stack is a stack of 3 or more. And now I replace that little project in the bookstore and add 1 more book to each of the bookstore shelves. So we have a green and another green and a red. All right, that was my turn. Although I did forget again, because I came to the village, I need to advance the sun tracker. Now Penelope can go. And this is her second card. She's going to go to the park. And when she goes to the park, we add a rival card to the queue without resolving its action line. All right, so she just gets a little bit stronger when she goes to the park. And I am going to go to the exchange. So that costs 1 social battery. I go down to 8. And now I can take all the books or any number of books from my nightstand. I'm going to take this 1, return them to the bag, and then take books of any color I want and add them to my backpack equal to the number of books I'm turning in plus 1. And so I'm going to exchange that yellow for 2 blue. They didn't both have to be blue. They could have been different colors if I wanted, but I want 2 blue. I'm going to put them on top of these other 2 blue. I think that'll help me accomplish this major accomplishment, plus that'll get me close to this one here. So now it is Penelope's turn. This is card number 4 for her. So this line says she goes to the bookstore and she's going to get the medium shelf. So that's going to be this one. She gets these 4 books. So she's up to 17. She gets the little project. That is automatically completed. That's points for her. And now we're going to restock. Here's a new little project and 3 more books. We've got a yellow, a green, and a red. And I was kind of hoping that she would bump me because I could use 1 more social battery. But the park is not a place you can choose to go to. You have to be bumped to get there to get that extra social battery. So I guess I'm going to go to the shops. If I had 1 more social battery, I would buy both of these. But I'm going to buy just 1 for 1, 2, 3, 4. You do have the option to spend just 3 social battery and blind draw off the top of the deck. But these are both good. I think I'd like at least 1 of them. And I'll take the lava lamp. So this, at the end of the game, I'll get 2 extra points for each stack in my house that's maximum height, and for a max of 3 of those stacks. So that could be some extra points. That's good. Now we're going to refill the shop. Headphones. Oh, that could be a strong one. And now it's Penelope's turn. This is card number 5 for her. 5 says she goes to the cafe. That's her special spot there. She gains 2 books from the bag. So she gets a green and a yellow. And so that is 19 books for her, 1 more, and she'll get her 20th out here. And again, I'm only doing that just because you can't see her pile of books. It's off screen. There's no mechanical reason to keep track of it in tens. Now it's back to me, and I'm going to go home. So I return home. I'm going to place these stacks. This one, I don't think it really matters where I put these. Put this one here in the bath, I guess. 3 yellows and 2 greens. And then the stack of 4 blues is going to go here in the den. And now for my action, I'll take the gather action. So that gains me 1 social battery. And I'm going to take the top book from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stacks. And then place them as a single stack somewhere, and I guess I'll do that. I'll place it here on top of these to make a stack of 6. So it's 5 blues and a purple. And so this major accomplishment is have 2 or more tall stacks where all the books in those stacks share a single color. So these are all blue, these are all blue. I'm not doing an admire action right now, but I think the purple being a question mark, I think that still counts for this major accomplishment. That makes sense to me. So I'm going to place this here, gain 3 social battery, 1, 2, 3. That'll be worth points for me at the end. And because it's a major accomplishment, I name a color to get rid of some of these cards. And I'm going to name yellow. 1, 2, 3 cards have yellow. So that's the most I can get rid of. 3 cards go away. We shuffle them back into the rival deck. That was pretty helpful, especially for not doing an admire action. And so when I do admire, I just need to get this yellow book off the top of that stack, and then I can achieve this one. It might be a good idea if I rest first, gain a couple more little projects, and just see if I can accomplish them quickly before I admire again. The game is probably getting close to the end. I could speed it along if I keep going back to the village, but I wouldn't mind trying to get some points in the meantime, or stacking up books for this lava lamp. So let's see. It's Penelope's turn. Draw a card. This is card number 3. She's going to be in the cafe again. And she gains a little project card from the medium shelf at the bookstore. That's going to be this one. So that's a couple points for her. We replace it. And that's it for her turn. And I will take the rest action. That gives me 2 social battery, and I get 2 little projects from the top of the deck, and then I must discard down to no more than 5. So I've only got 3, that's fine. So this one is have 4 more red books among your corner spaces. I only have 3 red books total, so that'll be tough unless I use that wild. And then this one says have a full row where the top book of each stack is the same color. I could probably do that too, but it would take some work. So I'm most interested in just getting this one done. But now we go back to Penelope. She's on her 4th card. So this says she goes to the park. She's going to gain 1 book from the bag. So she gets a yellow, and that is book number 20 for her. And then also when she goes to the park, we add a rival card to the queue. Do not resolve its line, okay? And so next, I'll take this gather action. I gain 1 social battery, and I could take 1 from the top of every stack, or as many stacks as I want. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm taking these 4. I've got 2 greens, 2 yellows. I'll put the 2 yellows on the bottom, the 2 greens on top, and then place them in a single stack. And I'll do that, I don't know, here. Why not? So I've got a stack of 6, a stack of 5, 3 stacks of 4. But these 3 have no yellows in them, so I can accomplish this little project. And once that's done, I think I just want to try and I want to max out this card, get 3 stacks of 6, and then probably go back to the village again and try and end it. It's Penelope's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is card 6. So she's on the 3rd tier here. She's going to the shops. And she gains both of the other neat stuff cards. So she just got 4 points for that action. And replace these. A scented candle and a lucky kitty, a green one. And I would actually really like that. I could gain a bunch of points. I've got 4 green books in the bedroom right now. 2 on the top of this stack, 4 at the bottom, or 2 at the bottom of this one. And I could potentially move this one into the bedroom as well. So that is very attractive. But I will start with the admire action. Blue is still by far my most common color, so I'm going to gain 3 social battery. 1, 2, 3. And then I have 3 tall stacks that have no yellow books. So that gets me 2 points and a random draw from the other neat stuff. I've got a beanbag chair. Each time you rest, gain 3 social battery. And this card has yellow in it. So these 2 rival cards have yellow cards on them. So those are cleared. That helps a little bit. Still, Penelope's stack is 4 cards deep right now. That's more than I like. And I don't really have any little projects I think I'm going to take care of right away. So I got to figure that out. Here we go. Slide these down. That was my turn. Back to Penelope. This is card number 5 for her. Gain the little project card from the largest bookstore shelf and then restock. So she gets this one. She's got a bunch of cards now. Restock it with a little project. And back to me. And I'm going to do the sort action. I gain 1 social battery. I'm going to take this whole stack and redistribute it. I'll put a green one here. And also a yellow one there. So that's a stack of 6. And then I'll put a yellow one here. So I've got 3 stacks of 6 now. And this last yellow one, I don't really care. I'll put it on the nightstand. So that was my turn. Back to our rival. This is card number 6 for her. So we're in this tier. She goes to the cafe and gains 4 books from the bag. And so as as we get into those bottom tiers, she just starts taking a lot of books, which is just pure points. So in this case, 3 reds and a blue. And now back to me. I'm going to leave the house. That's going to cost 5 social battery. I go from 15 down to 10. I must advance the sun marker. And I'm going to the shops. I didn't even really look at the scented candle. What does that do? Oh, that would have been nice to have a minute ago, but that's okay. I'm going to spend 9 social battery. So I go down to 1 to gain both of these cards. The scented candle just by itself is worth 3 points at the end of the game, so I might as well grab it. See if I can maybe slide this all over a little bit. And this lucky kitty says when you acquire this, place the lucky kitty beside any room in your home. So it is a green one. I'm putting the green lucky kitty by my bedroom here. And at the end of the game, score 1 point for each green book in that room, max score of 5. And I do have 5 green books in the bedroom now, so that's going to score well for me. And I'm definitely incentivized to try and end this game quickly, I think. But now I reset the shop. So now there is a night lamp and an art print. And we go back to Penelope. This is card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for 7, she goes to the bookstore and grabs the whole medium shelf plus 1 additional book from the bag. So luckily the medium shelf only has these 2 books right now, plus 1 more from the bag is going to be a red one. And now we need to medium shelf. So I guess she gets the card as well, the little project card. So we replace the card, add 1 more book to each shelf. So we get a green, a yellow, and a red, and I am going to go back home. So I'm going to go here. I have nothing in my backpack to put away when I get home, and so, geez, man, I was just trying to, I accidentally bumped it and it started spinning, and I tried to fix it, and I made it worse. All right, so now I'm going to take an action. I'm going to take the admire action, actually, and I have not accomplished either of these, but my scented candle says, and first, each time you admire, gain 3 social battery. Blue is your most common book color, and it still is. Now, you may discard 2 little projects from your hand that you did not complete. If you do, gain 3 social battery or draw 2 more little project cards. So I'm going to discard these and then gain 1, 2, 3 social battery that way. So I'm up to 7. Back to Penelope. Oh man, this is a long line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she is going to advance this sun track. So that means we're going to finish this round, and then we each get 1 more turn. And she is going to the bookstore and taking the largest shelf. Yikes. 1, 2, 3. So that makes 30 books right there. And then another 4. And she gains this card. We're going to restock 1 of these, and red book, green book, green book. Okay, so this will be my last turn, and then Penelope gets 1 more turn. And I don't really have anything of much value I think I can do. So I think my best option, you get some extra points at the end for remaining social battery, so I'm going to rest. Technically, I gain 2 little projects. Have no green books in your den or kitchen. I could have accomplished that. And have 3 or more tall stacks in your bedroom. So, oh well, missed out on that one, but that's okay. So I rest, I gain 1, 2 social battery, and my beanbag chair says each time you rest, gain another 3. 1, 2, 3, up to 12 social battery. And Penelope gets 1 last turn, and there's only 1 card left. So she's got 9 cards. So she would advance the sun, and then she goes to the bookstore and gets the largest shelf. And we would restock it, but there's really not a point. It's the end of the game. So now it's time to total things up, and we'll start with Penelope. So she's got these 30 books here, plus another 7 off screen. 1, 2, 3. Can't really see them here. 30, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So she's got 37 points from books. And then we look at the cards in her hand, and the stars all count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, plus 37 is 39, 49, 59. And of course, she ignores any text or any special, like some of these bonuses that I have. She would ignore that. Sometimes these cards can have question marks on them, like this one here. And anytime there's a question mark, she just gets a flat 3. So 59 is the final score for Penelope. Let's see what I get. We'll total up my books. I've got 6, 12, 18, 22, 23 points for books. And then from these two major accomplishments, that's another 9 points. So that gets me up to 32. And then from these cards that I've accomplished, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's 42, 46, and 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and then these two bonuses. So this one is score 1 for each green book in the room with this kitty, and I've got 5, so that's going to get me up to 60. And then this is an extra 2 for each maximum height stack I have, max score of 6. And I do have 3 max height stacks, so that's going to be 6. So my score is 56. Wait, did I do that right? 66? Yes, 66. So I think that was 66 to 59 if I counted that right? 37, 47, 57, 59. Yeah, all right, that was pretty close. Well, that was a good best of 3 between me and Penelope. That was the closest the score has been yet, so that was really fun. I'm glad I learned when to end the game, because I had been prolonging it, and then she's just started having these long lines and really racking up lots and lots of books at the end. So she was scoring a lot of points that way. But let me give you some other thoughts about the game while I'm here. So one, I really like the game. It's very good. This is a lot of fun. Good decisions, interesting puzzles. I generally feel like I always want to do one more action or one more turn. And I think that's a good sign on a game. But I did find the rule book was not perfect, and that's okay. Perfection is not the bar we're trying to clear here, but it had a few issues. It could have been a little bit more clear. Just as one example, there's this backpack token. It's the first player token, so I didn't really need to use it today, but this is the first player token. This is obviously the Penelope token. It's double-sided. They're both double-sided, same thing front and back. And then the solo game setup here tells you step 3, it says take the first player token and flip it to the Penelope side, then place beside the Penelope reference card. This is Penelope's player token. And I was like, so is she the first player? But then the rules later said that I'm the first player. So I think these were just like the same token at one point, and that got changed and the book didn't get revised. That's sort of the silliest example. But just there's a couple things that were unclear, and I found pretty quickly in my first game, and certainly the first 2 games, this game was actually all right. I didn't run into a lot of questions, but in my first couple of games, there were some clear situations that were definitely going to come up in game that didn't have very good explanations in the rule book or anywhere. So I found myself on Board Game Geek scrolling through the forums, and that's not an ideal way to start out. You want to be able to decide things easily. So like for example, in this game, I had this purple wild one. It said add the purple to the top of any stack, and then this says each time you do the admire action, name a color, treat your purple as that color until the end of the turn. So I was not doing an admire action, but I was doing this action and this major accomplishment. And so is this purple? Is purple a valid color? Or, it's got a question mark. So does it remain a wild at all times? Maybe it's a little bit niche situation. I don't know, but every game I play, I come up with something like that. And if I happen to rule it wrong, if I came to the wrong conclusion, and this only applies during the admire action, then that allowed me to clear some cards. That really changed the way that the game unfolded from there. And so that's a little bit of a dissatisfying feeling to have to come up with my own rules lawyering, my own interpretations, and then just be self-consistent as I play. So I'll continue to play that the purple is always wild, until or unless I hear something differently. So that's really my main gripe with the game, although it is, as I don't know, I hope you picked up, I found it really fun. I thought it was a good game, a good puzzle. So I would give it an 8 out of 10. Not that I usually score this stuff, but it does knock a couple points off for that. One other thing I noticed, just because this was pointed out, and so I thought I would let you know since I found it. These player boards are all symmetrical with the exception of just the the particular colors of books that you start with, and the locations around the rooms. But there's always a stack in each room, and you start with the same number of books. It's just going to be in different denominations. And so, it may make some little projects work better for some players than others at the beginning of the game. Otherwise, these are more or less symmetrical, right? One thing that was pointed out was this gather action on the red board has different text than all the rest. Functionally, they are the same. I actually think the red one is phrased a little better. So this one says, gain 1 social battery, then take the top book from up to 6 stacks. Place these as a stack on any one space. Whereas all the other boards say, take the top book from any number of stacks. Place these as a stack on any one space. But the implication is, because the max stack you can ever place is 6, that any number of stacks is hard limited to 6. You cannot take more than that. So this one's just a little more explicit. It doesn't actually play differently, but I know I've already seen online, this has confused people. Like they thought the rules were different for different players. So it gets to the same place, but the phrasing is a little bit different. But anyway, overall, I really like the game. If you like it, let me know by leaving a like on the video, and I'd be curious if you'd like to see me play it again. I think, like I said, the difficulty doesn't really change that much. Going from one difficulty, going from cards A through J to cards D through N or E through N. I'm sure it changes some, but I think this is going to kind of play out the same way more or less every time I play it. So I don't know if there's a lot of interest in seeing me do more solo playthroughs of this game, but I will certainly be playing it solo plenty because I really enjoy it. But those are my thoughts. I would love to see what you think about it. Let me know down in the comments. And then please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so yet. If you're into books, or if you know somebody else who's into books, share this video with them. That would be cool. And don't forget about my Ko-fi page, ko-fi, where you can make a donation to the channel to help keep things running. Super, super appreciated. But that's what I've got this time on Table for One. Thank you so much for watching. I had a fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.